Hey, what is up? WZ-111 Model 6 is now in super test, and here we go. Some say it looks like the Czechoslovakian Tier 9 TNH WZ-51. In fact, it actually looks almost the same. The turret is exactly the same as the WZ-111. You can see the turret is exactly the same turret. They changed the gun, and probably the hull is changed as well. The hull is of course using the WZ-111. This thing has stock ammo APCR, which means it has high velocity shells as stock shells, 1320 meters per second, and then the premium shells are going to be heat shells. The standard WZ-111, the 112, and the Chinese 110, they are stock shells, AP shells, which have something like 800 meters per second shell velocity. I think the 110 has 950 meters per second shell velocity, but a huge difference here in terms of shell velocity because you're firing APCR as stock shells. So what is up about the WZ-111 Model 6? Well, basically it is higher mobility, slightly more armor, slightly better accuracy. Overall, it's just a better tank than the WZ-111 or the 112. Remember when the 111 and the 112 first came out, I think in 2015, 2016 maybe. The 111 was actually my first ever premium tier 8 tank. It was a mission tank, and you had to collect X amount of damage or something like that from every nation, and if you couldn't complete the missions, you buy tokens for that nation. And some people donated tokens to me, and I got my first ever tier 8 premium tank, and that was my free-to-play account, and that's how I advanced in this game. So finally they have a WZ-111 replacement. Basically this is what they should do to the WZ-111. They should just update the stats of the 111 and the 112 to the Model 6 stats, because this is what it needs. This is what the WZ-111 and the 112 needs. It needs a refresh. It doesn't need a new skin. Basically, this Model 6 is a 2022 version of the WZ-111 and the 112. I feel like they could have just buffed the 111 and the 112 if they really wanted to. Of course, the WZ-111 and the 112 are what do you call that? What tanks do you call them again? They're not just premium tanks. They are matchmake to their tier 8s, preferential matchmaking. Yeah, that's what you call them. If you notice the hull, they are exactly the same as the WZ-111. Basically, well, maybe it's like a modification or variation of that hull, but it is a V-shaped, it is a pike nose kind of, well, pike top anyway. The lower plate is still flat, not piked, not V-shaped hull, but you get what I mean. So they use a WZ-111 hull with the Czechoslovakian turret, and I think this is a Chinese gun. So this is the new tank, the Model 6, 1550 hit points, 680 horsepower. This is a little bit more horsepower than your standard 111 and 112 and the 110. They're usually around the 600 horsepower. This is 680 horsepower with a 14.78 power to weight ratio. The WZ-111 and the 112 and the 110, they have the power to weight ratio of somewhere around 13.48, 13.33, 12.15. So you're getting a little bit more mobility out of the Model 6 here. but the rotation, gun rotation and hull rotation is exactly the same as the WZ-111, 112 and 110, which is around a 27 degrees per second turret rotation and hull rotation. So even though you got more horsepower, you got better power to weight ratio. In terms of agility, that means the left right rotation of the gun, it is exactly the same as the WZ-111 and the 112. But what I gather here is because of that higher engine power, 680 horsepower, and power to weight ratio 14.78, this means you can get to that forward and reverse speeds a lot quicker. It has a 50 km/h forward speed, 15 in reverse. With that higher power to weight ratio and horsepower, I am assuming this tank is slightly faster than a WZ-111 or a 112. Although it might rotate the same speed, it might have the same agility, but in terms of going forwards and in reverse, I think this tank is going to be slightly faster. The alpha damage on this tank is 360. The WZ-111 and 112 have 390 alpha. 30 more hit points than the Model 6. However, if you remember the 110, the Tech 3 version of the heavy tank is only 320 alpha. What I suspect is the Model 6 is going to play more like a heavy tank / medium tank. It's going to work, maybe it's going to get a little bit more mobility, and because of that better gun handling, it has 0.38 dispersion. Compare that to a 111 and a 112 only has 4.0 dispersion. 112 has 4.2 dispersion. The 110 has slightly better gun handling because it has 0.35 dispersion and 0.18 moving dispersion, so slightly better than the Model 6, but the Model 6 is definitely a lot better than the 111 and the 112. Also, it reloads in 9.88 seconds. The 111 and the 112 reloads in 12 seconds, so you save 3 seconds. Pretty quick reload time. Like I mentioned earlier, this is going to play a lot more like a medium heavy tank. You're going to be using its mobility, fast firing gun, and also I forgot to mention pretty good armor going on here. The hull armor is exactly the same as a 111 and a 112, which is around the 120 frontal hull armor. And side armors also 120 millimeters, but the difference here is in the turret armor, because the turret armor gives you 300 millimeters of protection frontally, and it's sloped. If you look at all the sloping that's going on, it's a lot more slope than the 111 or the 112, which only has 230 millimeters of frontal protection. The 112 has 240 millimeters of frontal protection, so 300 millimeters of frontal protection on the Model 6 here, and sloped means it is basically like what I was saying earlier. This is a WZ-111 for 2020. Even though that WZ-111, the Alpine Tiger and the 112 was pretty good when it was 2015, 2016, they were pretty useful tanks with its preferential matchmaking. But who cares about preferential matchmaking in 2020? Basically, if you have a preferential matchmaking tank in 2020, nobody really cares, because no one is afraid of you, and you have to contend with every other tank that can penetrate and easily penetrate you, even though you have preferential matchmaking. It really makes no difference. You are only avoiding some tier 9 tanks. That's all you are doing. So preferential matchmaking in 2022, I don't think it's a real big deal anymore. If you were ever considering getting a WZ-111 or an Alpine Tiger or a 112, I guess now you don't need to get them anymore, because there's really no point in getting those tanks. They're antiquated, they are old-fashioned, they are no longer competitive. If you're looking for a Chinese heavy tank, this is what you are going to be going for, the WZ-111. But if you want a better tank, obviously even the WZ-111 Model 6 isn't going to be your best Tier 8 premium heavy tank in 2022. There are a lot more better tanks out there. But if you're quirky and you want a Tier 8 Chinese, if you're specific about it, wait for this one. The Model 6 is going to be a lot better than the 111, the normal 111, the Alpine, or the 112. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned some useful information out of it. And I guess I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.